I got a build bag on the bench today, and this build is going to be, what did the kids say? Bussin'? VW bussin'? What?
Welcome to CK4RC.
Welcome back to the channel. I have a bag of goodies filled with all kinds of components and parts and everything I need. Well, not everything I need is in here, but I have everything I need. But I still have to get my build bag topped off. But that's got the bulk of what I need to do this build. And let's talk about this body for a second. So first of all, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but big time shout out to Eric Newhouse Jr., ex-Lewis Designs. This dude, I had an idea for a build, and I've had this idea for a year and a half, and I never knew how I'd be able to pull it off. And then I saw him come out with this VW body, and I was like, hey, let me talk at you for a second. And then he listened, and then he put this together, and this thing is incredible. So what you will see is, yes, it is a VW bus, but then there's a little bit more going on. And this one is a custom one-of-one VW bus. Look at that. He got the logo printed on the back in the bed. Come on now. Eric Newhouse Jr. just killed it with this. There is a second part of this body that is in here, and I am in this styrofoam container right here. I'm not going to show it to you right now because it's really what sets this thing off. So, but I'm going to be doing a VW bus build, and it is a very particular VW bus. Like I said, about a year and a half ago, this idea popped in my head. It didn't pop in my head out of nowhere. I'm not that original. My brother and my dad went to a car show, and they sent me a picture of a very custom VW bus. It's got to be a one-of-one. And so they sent me these pictures, and I was like, man, that would make an awesome crawler. And so I've been collecting parts. I've been collecting, look at these tires. These are 70, or these 68, 70 millimeter. I don't remember how big they are. I think these are 68 millimeter Hobby Soul Mudslinger tires. I needed this specific tire for a reason, for a particular reason. And it took me a while to source these. I had to go through 3 buyers on eBay. That failed. I ended up on Amazon eventually coming across these. But finally was able to pull this off. This was a huge get. This was also going to make this build just what it needs to be. So super pumped about these wheels and tires. Super pumped about this super custom body and the other part that I'm not going to show you for a little while. I've got the Fury Tech starter system in here. It's got the Venom motor. It's got the, I think it's the Python Pro ESC. Yeah, I think it's the Python Pro ESC in there. That's pretty cool. I've got Injora oil-filled shocks. I've got Injora. I'm going to go with C10 fronts on the front and rear. And there's a very particular reason why I want that, because it's a custom wheelbase. This thing is going to be a one-off build. But I went with kind of this brass-ish bronze, not brass, bronze color. These are the steering links, but the suspension links are also the same. Injora high clearance C10 suspension links with the bronze finish like that. And that's going to be real good. I've got the Injora Metal Gear transmission to hook up to that Fury Tech Venom motor. Like I said, the Injora oil-filled shocks. I have this custom chassis from Eric Newhouse Jr. Came with the body to make sure that the body mounts up okay. That's perfect. He's got a stack of magnets in there to make sure that everything clamps on properly. I've got just a plain old skid plate down here, and I pulled this off of another build, and it is a metal, and I don't think this is Injora because it doesn't say Injora on it, but it's scratched up real good, and it just has that worn look, and that's going to be perfect for this build. So nothing fancy about it, but that's the skid plate I'm going with. And then I've got my Radio Link receiver, of course, because I'm going to hook it up to my RC4GS transmitter. And then for the axles, and I've got some brass weights, wheel weights to kind of widen that stance and try to keep it planted, because it is going to have that short wheelbase, C10 fronts in the front and rear. It is going to be pretty compact wheelbase, so I want to get that brass down there, try to keep it planted as much as possible. And then as far as the axles go, in the servo, I'll probably go with a torque servo, just because they're good. Why not? I might go with a Fury Tech servo. I'm not totally sure which direction I'm going to go with that. Just depends on what I need for the build. And then the last part of the build, the axles, probably just going to go with stock axles, and I'll trim up the front steering knuckles so I can get some better turning radius. So just a cheap hack for stock axles to be able to get better turning angle. But I don't need anything fancy for it. And again, I'm not going for performance on this. This isn't going to be a comp rig. This is literally just because I think it is an incredible concept and I want to see it come to life. So I'm going to do my best. We all know that we'll see what happens. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this frame built up with the suspension links and things like that. I will come back when I have a roller, and then we will start looking a little bit more at the body. In the meantime, while I'm doing that, if you're not familiar with the Russian military vehicle, the Sherp, you might want to look that up. Wink. Here we go. We have a roller, and what have I done? This thing is crazy. These wheels are gigantic. Super squishy. I like that. This wheelbase is super short. So I've got C10 fronts on the front, C10 fronts on the rear. This thing is nutso bonkers. As you can see, yes, it's a roller, but no, it's not finished. I've got my receiver over here. I've got my ESC that I still have to hook up. And I don't have a whole lot of space to mount some electronics. So I'm still working on some stuff right here. And then also with this little tray right here, I might be able to mount something on there. It was going to be the magnets for the body mount, but this wire right here, with the way that the motor is mounted, I could try to spin the motor a little bit and get these pointing in a different direction, because it is right in the way of the body mount. So that is kind of annoying. And then I also ran into another little speed bump here. The rear link mounting positions, I've got them pushed all the way forward and all the way up as far as the chassis will allow, but it's still clocked at a weird angle back here in the back. So if I set it down, you can see how that is angled kind of inward and downward, and that is just some weird geometry there. So it'll still work, and I'll figure that out as I go. But yeah, so this is my roller. Pretty cool. Yeah, I still got to hook up the steering servo. I went with a ramp crab. Nothing too fancy, but something that should get the job done. The oil-filled shocks, those are just fun to play with. So here is the chassis and the roller. Now, time to slap the body on here and give you just a little preview of what we're working with. And I think I already showed you this part. And it's a little custom here. We've got my logo on the back. That's pretty cool. It's got a roll cage in here with a pretty cool interior and a back seat hanging out the back. So slap this bad boy on here. Just try to get it to balance a little bit because I don't have magnets anywhere. And then here's where I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the big reveal. I'm going to show you the pictures that this build is based off of. So here, check these out and you'll see where this is going.
Look at this thing. It's a VW Sherp. And look at those giant mudslinger tires. He's got BKT written on the side of them. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might. But look how awesome this thing is. A VW bus Sherp? Come on.
Now that you've seen the inspiration, I'll go ahead and slap the back end of this bad boy on here. And this will be held on by magnets. And again, got the CK4RC text logo right here designed into the back. And look at this thing. Turned out so good. This thing is, it's so perfect. Look at that. Just like the pictures. And then my plan with this for the paint, I'm not going to get too fancy. I'm not going to sand it down. I'm not going to try to dress this up a whole lot because as you saw in the pictures, this is a really sweaty build. So I'm not going to sand it down. I'm not going to dress it up a whole lot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some gray primer on here. Then I'm going to put a brown undercoat. And then I'm going to put a gray top coat. And then I'm going to start sanding and get some rust showing through and just keep it nice and rough looking. Just like the source vehicle. And that will be my VW shirt. Leave me a comment down below. What do you think of this thing? And what approach do you think I should take as far as painting, sanding, weathering, all that good stuff? It will probably be fairly uniform between the steel plate down here, the diamond plate, the VW body, and then the steel shell that was built onto the back. Which the uniformity probably will make it look a little bland, but it just kind of matches the source vehicle though, right? So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to shoot for. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Hit that quadfecta for me before you go. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you want to see more behind the scenes stuff with this build right here, become a channel member. For just a few dollars a month, you get behind the scenes, you get exclusive members only content, and you get to decide what I do on the channel. So my channel members actually decided that this was going to be my next build because I have another build lined up that I think is pretty cool. And I was torn on which one to go with next. And my channel members voted on this bad boy. So become a channel member and have some input on what I do around here. But that is going to be it for today. Like I said, hit that quadfecta. Check out all my discounts down in the video description, my affiliate links, all that good stuff. Keep doing RC stuff, and I'll see you next time. Big time thank you to my members and channel partners. And if you would like to join the ranks, click on that join button for exclusive content, never before seen videos, early access to videos, and other exclusive content, pictures, polls, and having an active voice in what comes next on the channel. So appreciate the support. Click on that join button, and thank you so much to the channel members.